this year, we decided to focus our money in 4 strategic areas rather than open up proposals for the entirety of eligible uses within CDBG. So we really started in-house with the needs of our community and how we could best administer them through NBD in 4 areas. One is being housing production, bricks and mortar, rehab in our neighborhoods. The second is services to the housing vulnerable. Those are to address folks who aren't homeless, who are living in a shelter, but are in such a circumstance that they may need to be relocated or have some rehab done on their existing place. These are people who live in unfit situations or have no water or no utilities. So we have a whole strategy geared towards that population. And the third strategy was to address folks with special needs. Special needs is any subpopulation of the city that by their nature is at a disadvantage economically. So that could mean youth, elderly, disabled folks, veterans. And the focus on the special needs was we're trying to get agencies to provide that service within the context of a community center. And not necessarily a city-owned community center, but a neighborhood community center. So Huntington Family Center or Dunbar or the Southwest Community Center. We wanted to encourage folks to provide that service in the community centers, both to strengthen the community center itself and to avoid paying overhead and staff and many different areas throughout the city. So that was a priority there. And then the fourth strategy was economic development, and with a focus on our neighborhood corridors, our commercial corridors within the neighborhood. We modeled this request after the New York State Main Street program, which focused on a 3-block area primarily of commercial uses, and we asked for proposals from agencies to come in and organize and work with the business owners and different commercial corridors throughout the city, and then we'll look to fund those plans and strategies with bricks and mortar work once we receive an overall plan. So those are the 4 primary areas: housing production, housing vulnerable, special needs, and economic development that we asked the community at large to provide proposals for. And that really streamlined the responses that we received this year over years past. We received all those responses in mid-November. We set up a series of RFP committees to address each strategy area. And these committees were unique too. The process was different this year in that we no longer have a CDAC or a Community Development Advisory Committee. In place we have the Mayor's Citizen Cabinet, which the Mayor chose a few folks from that cabinet to participate in these RFP committees. And we also reached out to our foundations locally, Gifford Foundation, Community Foundation, and asked for representatives from those organizations to provide input and sit on these committees as well. And we felt that combination of having the Mayor's Cabinet and the foundation folks really provided an objective process in determining the merit of these RFPs. They met several times throughout between November, December, and January and offered their input in terms of whether or not we should fund them, increase their funding, decrease their funding, but didn't really get into the dollars and cents of it all. And from that process, we released a budget and a plan last week in January that is now starting along its 30-day comment period that we just started on Friday. Within our housing production strategy, we employed a fee-for-service model. And that is, again, it's best to look at it from where we came from and where we are now. In the old days, we used to award an agency a standard set of funds regardless of what they produced. And so whether it's 1 house or 10 houses, they got the same amount of money. This year we to transition to a fee-for-service mentality, we kept a base salary, a base administration for each of our housing partners, but incentivized it so that they could actually achieve a developer fee or earn a developer fee based on the production that they do throughout the year. So part of that process was to qualify each of our housing partners as community-based development organizations, or CBDOs. And this is a HUD designation that allows nonprofits to retain a developer fee on any service they provide. Up to now, only a few of our agencies had that designation. We want to qualify all of our agencies to have that. And basically what that means is they have to be accountable to the neighborhood they serve, and that's based on their board formation. More than 51% of the board has to be made up of residents of that neighborhood, and a third of them have to be low mod income. So they're actually accountable to the neighborhood, which allows them to produce in the neighborhood and like I said, obtain or earn a developer fee. So I look at it more as a base salary that they can earn commission if they actually follow through on the redevelopment efforts that they propose. The overall goals of this budget and this year, this consolidated plan, is really reflective of this department and of Mayor Minor's initial decision to combine community and economic development under one roof. I think we all realize that our neighborhoods are mixed-use neighborhoods, meaning that there's a residential and an economic development component in each neighborhood. So we really are looking to strengthen our commercial corridors within our city and the neighborhoods around those corridors that bring these neighborhoods together. So it's a focus both on neighborhoods and the corridors that unite the neighborhoods together. Again, one of the newest things in this budget is that service towards housing vulnerable. People are living in substandard situations. We really want to address and ensure that everyone has access to safe, affordable housing. But again, housing is just one component of it. Jobs and commercial development is what sustains a healthy neighborhood. So our focus is on both, just as the focus of this department is on both. So I think this budget reflects Mayor Minor's initial decision to combine the two departments under one roof. This consolidated plan is a draft and it has a budget attached to it, and it was released Friday the 28th. That commenced the 30-day public comment period, and there is a public meeting this Thursday, February 3rd, in council chambers, where the community at large and various stakeholders can come and speak about their concern, approval or disapproval of the budget, or just express their concerns about community and economic development in general. These comments will be recorded, and we will respond to each comment. Either that will be reflected in the final version of this plan. And then there's a public hearing, which the council, the Common Council, will attend, and similarly listen to the concerns of the public at large. Again, that will also be recorded through a stenographer, and comments received and responded to through the final plan. Our plan is due to HUD mid-March. Our fiscal year starts May 1. So all of this is looking to wrap up in February to receive comments, address those concerns, package it up into a final plan, send it off to HUD in anticipation for the start of our program year, which is May 1.